Alright, so today we're going to be doing a little in-hand look of the new Jordan 1s that came out earlier this week. And honestly, I really don't know why I didn't make this video immediately, because I ended up getting all of my pairs the day the shoe came out. But here is the shoe. This is the Jordan 1 Smoke Gray High, aka the poor man's unions, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, the way that I got these shoes, I ended up getting 3 pairs of these shoes. I got an 8.5, 9, and 9.5. Like I said, I got these pairs the first day they came out because I ended up not getting any pairs online. None of the foot sites, none of the sneaker apps, anything. It was a really rough day for me, but I put in my raffles earlier in the week for all of the foot site apps and ended up getting 3 out of 3 on one single account, the only account that I made raffles in, getting all 3 of the pairs that I have here. It's kind of nuts, honestly. It was like Foot Locker, Foot Action, and Champs. Like I said, 8.5, 9, 9.5, which I believe in the long run will be the best sizes for the shoe. And honestly, I think the luck is insane because it's the first time I've ever gotten a foot site raffle, period. And this is what, like a year and a half worth of selling shoes, and this is the first time that I've gotten it. And then I get all 3 at once. It's really odd because the FLX like head start thing, if you guys did go into the raffle, if you used your FLX points to get the head starts, they did actually cancel mine, including like a whole ton of other people's, and you couldn't get any head starts. It was just like the 1 out of 4 like you would normally see on the app. I don't know why they did that, but I ended up getting extremely lucky, I guess, and getting all 3 of these pairs. So yeah, I mean, it does look pretty nice. I probably wouldn't wear these personally, but I don't really like high top shoes in general that much. The one thing that is a little bit different than some people don't like is that there's actually suede patches instead of the leather. That's pretty unusual for most Jordan 1s. I don't really mind it. I would like the leather, honestly, a little bit better, just to kind of have the classic look of Jordans, but I mean, the suede doesn't really kill it for me either. But this channel really isn't for sneakers and try-ons and all of that stuff. We're talking about reselling, because it's the reason why I'm buying these shoes. So right now, I want to say that they're here. You know what? I'll actually just look it up right now, and then probably the next week or so will be the lowest they will be, period. Yeah, and we're talking pretty low right now. They're sitting at about 250 bucks on StockX right now, so kind of around 250, 260 range, which for the 170 retail really isn't that good if you want to dump your pairs now. But most of the people who are dumping their pairs now aren't really heavy into the sneaker reselling business. They just probably got lucky with a pair and want to make some money really quickly. But I'm super confident that these shoes will go up tremendously in the future, not only because it is a pretty simple colorway, you know, gray, white, black, and red. It's nothing too crazy. You could match it with a whole bunch of different outfits. I was talking about earlier with these being the poor man's Jordan 1 Unions, which are a very, very popular shoe. Go for like $1,600 a pair right now. Extremely expensive shoe that most people aren't going to get. So a lot of people were hating on these shoes for being the poor man's version of the shoe. I take that in my mind of wanting to resell these shoes in the future as a good thing, because the last time people were calling shoes the poor man's versions of another shoe, they were talking about this shoe, which is another pair of Jordan 1s. These are the racer blue colorway, and everybody was calling these the poor man's Dior's, which I don't really have to get into too much of what Dior Jordan 1s are. Very similar in colorway to these shoes, and when these first came out, I have a pair in a size 8.5. Like normal these days, these were another $170, and I think I could have picked another pair of the 8.5s that I have up right now for maybe $220. It was even less than the smoke grays were going for. And as of today, my size 8.5 has jumped from around $220 to $450, and I want to keep holding on to this shoe until at least Christmas. So yeah, these things have really skyrocketed because, to everybody's surprise, you know, nobody's really gonna get the Dior 1s. There's only 8,600 pairs of them made in the world, and there was millions and millions of people that went into the raffle for that thing. So people were bashing on this for being the poor man's version, but as soon as they don't get the retail $2,000 shoe or resale $15,000 shoe, they end up wanting to buy these, and these things are doing nothing but skyrocketing. So when everybody gets off their high horse of not getting a pair of Union 1s, these things will start skyrocketing up because these are very similar to 1s. I've even seen some people lace swap these. They just come with black and white laces, but somebody had this kind of like orangey yellowish laces that looked very similar to the Union 1 laces, and it actually looked really good, and a lot of people like that. And I think just from people seeing that alone really help out the resale value on these shoes. So I'm definitely not worried about holding on to these things for a while. Maybe I would end up buying some more pairs of these. happens if I had a lot more capital, but we got these Zions in a few days, which is, I think, going to be really successful in the long run, but we'll talk about that a little bit in the future. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.